Hello and welcome to Polyplane.com. In this pre-flight video, we'll be talking about the Viewport Windows. When you first open up Rhino, you'll be greeted by four windows. They're the top, front, right, and perspective windows. Don't let this confuse you though. It's all the same document. If I draw a cube in the top view, you can see that it's also drawn in the other three views. It's essentially just projecting your object from each of the views. So from the top view, you're looking at a flat version of your three-dimensional object. Likewise in the front and right. If you right click on the name of the viewport that you're in, and I go down to set view, I can change this to one of 7 different main areas. I can also take it to a plan view, but we're not going to worry about that just yet. We want to focus on top, bottom, left, right, front, back, and perspective. So if I change this to bottom, it doesn't really look that much different because it is a cube. What if it were something a little more technical? Say a camera. Now you can see if I change from bottom back to top view, you can see I'm seeing a different side of the model. To understand this idea a little bit clearer, I've gone ahead and done a quick render of the camera and its 6 different views. I like to think about it as a bounding box around every object that I build in my 3D software. And when I'm toggling between the viewports, I'm looking at the front projection of that, the right projection of that, bottom, left, back, and top. And I can scrub through those to see the different details on all the sides. And how those details all come together create the perspective view. There's different ways to display your object in a viewport. Right now my viewport is in a technical line drawing mode. I can change that by going over to wireframe. As you can see, the view has changed from a technical drawing to its wireframe. The other 3 viewports have remained in their technical view, but I can go ahead and change them if I need to. We'll change this one to shaded, and we'll change this one to rendered. So you can really see how view modes can change the information that you're seeing on your screen. If I right click on the name perspective and go down to Viewport Properties, I can actually change the lens length that I'm looking through. If I were to change this to 25 and click OK, you get a little more of a dramatic look. This can be great for presentation purposes, or if you just kind of want to get a more dynamic angle on what you're working on. It's definitely the way to go. Additionally, in this menu, you can go back and put a backplate image in your scene. So I've got a little table here. If I click on Show Wallpaper, it shows up in the background. This can be good for compositing models into your photos. It's also handy for getting a sense of scale and for matching perspective. If at any time I want to check a different detail, just remember you can right click and go to Set View and change to any of the other views that you want. You can also name a view. Say if I've got a really great angle here and I really like it, I can save it by going to Set View, Name Views, Save, and then type a name. We'll call this View 1. Now whenever I go back to a different view, I can just click on Set View, click on my name view, and it'll come right back to that saved view. This is great if you have a bunch of views to render, or if you have a bunch of views that you want to show a potential client. This way you can just select through those views and get exactly the shots that you want. Another way to get to this menu is to actually go up to View and then Set View. You can also change the viewport properties like you could before and do all of your different viewport display styles. If you have a view maximized and you don't want to have to double click on it and then double click again to get to another menu, you can also just get Control Tab and you'll be able to tab through your different views. I find this to be very useful in case I have more than 4 viewports open. Say I have all 6 views open. Well, I can then just tab through them and get through all my views and not have to worry about clicking back out and clicking back in. Additionally, you can also customize the layout of these views. You can change and pull and grab the name and pull it off and still work in that environment. Say you want to add an additional viewport in here, you can grab that one and pull it off here. So you can have as many viewports as open as you want. Just keep in mind, your computer resources might get a little bogged down if you open up too many, so I like to just keep with 4. The Viewport Toolbar up here, if you click and hold, will give you a bunch of different options, such as how to split open your window, setting your lens length. You can also import views from a different file, which I've found useful as well if I'm doing a lot of different concepts for the same project. It's nice to have the same views so that everything has a cohesive look and feel to it. Another great tool that's extremely useful is the clipping plane. If you click on clipping plane under Viewport Layout, you select a window that you want to apply the clipping plane to. In this example, we'll click on Perspective, and it'll ask you to draw a rectangle. Wherever I slide that clipping plane to, it'll trim the model to that length. This is great for doing section views if you have a product design and you want to show wall thickness, or you just want to quickly modify your model without damaging the actual mesh. This is the way to do it. So those are the fundamentals of the Viewport Windows. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear about them in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.